Alrighty. All right. I find
my brain forgot how to Vogue.
I looked at the live and it started counting from 36 seconds, and I'm like, we haven't been live for 36 seconds.
No.
It started counting from when the countdown finished, I think. Anyway, that's weird. Hi everyone, welcome if you're watching the playback. By now you've probably already caught up to the actual live stream on YouTube, but anyway, welcome to our last Ilona Andrews live stream for a little while. Very sad.
It is sad.
And we are talking about Faded Blades, which is the short novel.
It's a novel. It's a novella. I marked it as a novella in my spreadsheet.
It's my physical copy is over 200 pages, so it automatically gets marked as a novel because anything under 200 pages is a novella. But it's 209 pages.
It said it was 222 on Amazon, and I was like, "This is a novella. This is not a novel." In my spreadsheet, so
it's shorter than the Criminal Intentions episodes, so it's a novella.
Yeah, that's true.
Which I have been re-listening to all week.
So
I realized I never finished season 1, so I've been going through season 1 again because new year means that my reread year is a different year number.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I am allowed to reread.
Excellent.
Which pin?
I pinned the document with links for sprints for the weekend.
I just keep clicking the pin thing at the top, and it keeps showing me previous pinned messages.
Yeah, if you want more of us.
And everyone else.
I'll just take it away from you.
Is it? No, that's not it.
Scroll down to the bottom. There's 8 messages.
Izzy, can you just send me the link?
No.
I will send you the link.
But I already told my husband I was gone for the night. Don't take this away from me.
I got you. I will just send you the link.
I already sent her the doc in my in the chat.
Okay.
For anyone who wants context, later on there are going to be some reading sprints. Are they on your channel, Izzy, or are they on May's?
Yeah, they're on my channel because May is logged into my StreamYard, so it's too much work to switch channels.
I love that.
We just do it on mine. Yeah, yeah. She if there's ever a rogue live on my channel, it's May. She did some shit.
So after this, if you want to do some reading, we'll be sprinting over on Izzy's channel.
If you want to continue with this chaos, but add a May to it,
right?
And just add the randomness of not actually having a focused book at any point. Welcome.
Is that what
we will be reading?
Here? It's focused on a book.
I am loving my Kindle. I'm actually reading with my eyeballs.
It's the best.
I've been reading with my eyeballs all week, and I'm like, oh my god, did I just need a better Kindle instead of trying to read from my phone?
Mm-hmm. You did. It's life-changing.
It is.
Alrighty.
So Faded Blades, our novel novella that we're going to fight over which one it is.
Our novel novella that I, even though I got it on Kindle Unlimited, listened to it with my ear holes.
Same.
Left is novel and right is novella on the screen. We are firmly split.
That's very true.
50-50.
It's a short novel. It was a fun time. Is all I'm saying.
Vote in chat. 1's for novel, 2's for novella.
All right. So if anyone's watching this and you have absolutely no idea what this book is about, I don't feel like you don't have to have read the novellas to have read this. I think this stands on its own perfectly fine and probably does a much better job to actually explain some of the setup in the Kinsman world. But it's 2 rivals whose partners both cheat on them and steal proprietary information and try and make a run for it. So they have to team up to try and get that information back. And it's delightful.
It is.
Her partner, I think, is the worst.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's the worst in that incompetent way. He's not actively cruel or abusive or the complete scum of a human being, but
he's a complete scum of a human being.
You cannot stand because
he's a waste of space.
Useless. He's useless.
He's just but babe, I just got bored, no.
Right. And also, that type of person obviously is so much worse as a partner. Like, it's bad as a coworker or, you know, on a group project or something like that. But as your life partner,
oh no, I would
miserable.
I would be in jail because I would have killed my life partner.
Right.
I mean, she almost did.
And the thing is, like, she could have killed him. And also, she knew what type of person he was. She didn't want to marry him. And then the only thing she asked of him was to be loyal to her family and not screw over her family. He didn't even have to be a good husband. He didn't have to pull his weight. He didn't have to anything.
She gave him money.
Screw over the family.
He got everything. In fact, they both the partners got everything that they could have wanted.
Yep.
Out of the deal, because both their marriages were arranged marriages, and they got as much freedom as they wanted. They got as much money as they wanted.
Yeah. I will say I really liked that they were both already married, because you don't get that super common for main characters and love interests, and we haven't done it with Ilona Andrews except for the one Edge book where she divorced her husband.
Yeah.
And then I also really liked that they were enemies, they were rivals, and had literally never said a single word to each other. Like,
I love that setup. When it's like, we're rivals, I hate you, but we've never spoken. I'm like, okay.
Right. It was completely based on the family and business.
Yeah,
So
generational hate.
It made a lot of sense for them to fall in love in such a quick time frame. Not only did they fall in love in a week, but they also fell in love in a 200-page book, right? It made sense that they were instantly compatible. They had just never been given the opportunity to compat, you know?
And I think it's really interesting because, I mean, I was thinking about it, and I mean, we said last time, you see a lot of threads of everything else that Ilona Andrews have included in other books in this one, because I'm like, both of them are descended from genetically modified humans who were designed to fight a war. And they all started out on the same side. And then post-war, when everyone had so much power, the families basically decided, no, we need to keep separate because we're now enemies, whatever. And I kept thinking back to, you know, that kind of links into Sean and the werewolves in Innkeeper Chronicles and things like that. We see them playing around with sort of that trope, but I liked it in here because they had no reason to be rival. The families originally had no reason to be rivals, except they happened to share the same planetary space. And so they then just built up these business empires and are hugely successful. And yet these two have never spoken, even though they know everything about each other from a business standpoint.
With the reveal about his ancestor, though, they actually did have some reason originally. Maybe not so much further generations down, but
it feels like so far removed also that it feels nearly silly.
Yeah, like he didn't know. He was just like, I don't know, they said that we hate each other, so we hate each other.
Yep.
We hate the Davenports too. I love the Davenports.
Oh, the Davenports were great.
They're the best. Just, oh, you need me. I'm going to get so much money. And I was like, I love you.
It was great.
I would like a Davenport novella.
Me too.
That would make sense.
Also, I really liked that this is another series where they had queer side characters in just like a queer normative world. You know, it wasn't an issue.
Yeah.
Where it wasn't like, and they're queer. It was just like, yeah, he and his husband had a baby. They were like, the Davenports are the only ones who found love out of the big three.
That, like, they set it up with these three companies in this race, and literally whoever isn't the first, their family is going to be ruined. To having like a successful, everybody wins, we're a partnership, everybody can be successful and thrive.
What, working together?
Right. No. Novel concept.
Gross. Teamwork? Disgusting.
I do like that when they broke into his office.
Yes.
And he's just like, oh, my desk.
And he was like, actually, it was ugly. I don't care.
I know. And then when he was like, oh, wait, I'm about to get a lot of money. Nah, never mind. We're good. It was ugly anyway.
Like, you couldn't have used the door? Yeah, no.
I loved the Davenports were my favorite. I love the Davenports.
It was good.
I felt like this stood on its own better than the previous two we read and the like short story.
Sure. Yes.
Like, I definitely enjoyed this more because it just felt like more of a completed thing. I don't know, in a weird way, like in comparison wise, right? Like, if I had read those like forever ago and then read this, it wouldn't even matter. But like, because we just read it, I'm like, I like this much more.
Right.
Yeah.
Me too. I felt like this is one that you could reasonably start Ilona Andrews with. It's not my recommendation. My recommendation is always Hidden Legacy or Kate Daniels. But realistically, if you just wanted something short, this is their best short option.
Yeah.
To do that with.
Hidden Legacy if you want more spice. Kate Daniels if you want more.
I just think in some ways it's their best writing. Is Hidden Legacy and Kate Daniels. So obviously, I like 5 and 4-star pretty much everything they've ever read. So I like all of it, but
soon I will be starting the graphic audios since you hated them, Heather. We're now not waiting on you.
I'm not a reasonable judge of that. I just
I know you hate audio. That's why I was like,
it's just not my thing. And I keep trying because it's worth trying, but
but it's not for everybody, and that's okay.
It's just not your thing.
I have to like everything,
right?
I think Kate Daniels and Hidden Legacy, they had so much time and space to create and build up their world and the rules of that world.
Right.
But even like The Edge and Innkeeper Chronicles, they're much more focused on what's actually happening in that moment to those characters.
Right.
The Edge has, I think The Edge has probably slightly more world building than Innkeeper Chronicles, but Innkeeper Chronicles relies on some of the Edge background to build it.
I think some of it is just my personal preference, right? Those are my favorites. So I feel like if someone was like, I read The Edge or Innkeeper Chronicles or Faded Blades, and I don't really think Ilona Andrews is for me, my immediate reaction would be, but you didn't try Hidden Legacy or Kate Daniels. Like, you didn't try their best. You know? And some of that is really just me and what I like. Like, I like what they do in those series so much. Well, and I'm not a sci-fi reader so much. So.
Yeah, I was going to say this is probably a better starting point for sci-fi readers because I think the writing's on point.
Right.
They managed to tell a sci-fi romance in 200 pages, roughly 200 pages that feels complete.
Yes.
And it's built a world that you have had no other experience with.
Yeah.
And at the end, the story's done. Like, you don't have to go further than that.
I felt like, I was thinking about this while I was reading it. I felt like reading the first Kate Daniels book versus reading this, which Kate Daniels is longer. But I was thinking about even at the beginning when they're describing the vampires and the shifters and everything, I felt like I had a better grasp of Kate Daniels' world building from the get-go than I would have here. But a lot of that, I think, is just what makes sense for my brain, which words click in my brain that this is, like, I immediately know what they're talking about. And again, like, I'm not a sci-fi reader, so that's possibly a huge factor.
Yeah. I feel like, do they just write these, like, Kingsman books when they need, like, a really good palate cleanser? Because this just feels very, very different from a lot of the other stuff that they write.
Like something they're just doing for fun.
Yeah, like, it's just like...
I mean, it's fun, and yet they still got picked up by Motley, which is Amazon's publisher for it, which is interesting.
And they also have so many shorts on their
I feel like they write their shorts when they want to change a pace.
Yeah.
I think that they've got enough clout as authors now to get picked up for things.
Right.
If they want to play with something, I think they're more likely to have people take a chance on them.
Right.
Than most other people. And what was I going to say? Like, I would love to see this as a film or like a very short miniseries kind of thing.
Yeah.
This would be a cool video or movie.
As a visual thing, it's very interesting. And because I haven't reread it since I first read it years ago. And like I totally forgot the setup. I forgot about their partners and why they teamed up. I knew that they were rivals, and I knew that they had to team up. I couldn't remember what it was, but I vividly remember them being stuck in the temple in the forest for days.
Yeah,
and the fight dance scene would have been so cool to choreograph, man.
Oh yeah.
Right.
I mean, I loved that too. Like how they we're both still married, we can't bone, and I was like, that's funny. Yeah. And their partners would have never had the same considerations.
Right.
Obviously.
No.
Their partners were cheating before they even stole from them.
Right. I think that's always interesting to me because I'm like, I don't owe you loyalty if you don't have loyalty to me. If you have loyalty to me, then like absolutely you need to formally break up before. Like I am so, I don't know, cheating just, it doesn't work for me, right? But at the same time, like I have no problem with someone in an abusive relationship cheating. I have no problem with someone who their partner is completely unfaithful to them. I don't feel like they have to be held to a higher standard. And you know, it doesn't really matter because that's not my relationship. Everyone has their own personal ethics and morals. But for me, I'm just like, I mean, you all aren't staying with them. You are not in a partnership anymore. You just haven't formally filed the paperwork, you know?
Yeah, I'm the same way. I'm always like, in that situation, whatever.
Right.
I think it kind of worked for these two, though.
I think the biggest thing for me is I would never want to hurt someone that I had loved or liked enough to form a partnership with in the first place. But again, if that partner is, you know, a horrible partner and wouldn't be hurt by it, then to me, I'm just like, I don't know. They don't really, you don't owe them anything at that point because the covenants of the partnership have already been violated by them.
Yeah.
I think it's more of like a character thing. Like it speaks to their character that they're like, I made this commitment. I'm gonna see it through, even though the other people didn't.
Right.
I can see
that in The Office.
Yeah. And like I think it's interesting because they both prize loyalty as characters, even without having, like, that's almost the first thing that they have in common,
right?
Personality wise. And I was just looking at my notes, and it had down Matthias's in-laws, because that entire sequence reminded me of what's his name in Hidden Legacy and his military house. I can't remember the
Rogan.
No, not Rogan. The one that who does Catalina start working for?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I was like, you're asking me about a series we read how long ago?
I know, and I'm like, I should have looked this up
3
beforehand.
years
Anyway,
ago, so
I'm just like fighting your way out of a house. That sounds familiar.
Yeah.
That was very interesting setup. Also, it was kind of comical, I guess, his wife feeling like he was a nobody because he wasn't willing to be a politician.
Yes.
Like, we're kinsmen. We don't do that. Is not what we do.
Like, no, he's literally all powerful essentially, and she's like, but it's not the right power.
Right.
I love that though. It's not the right power. You need to be this kind of like.
Right.
Like, it's like he's rich, he's powerful, and he has influence, and it's not the right kind of influence.
He's not the corrupt politician like her father.
Right.
Her father's the worst, and I'm so happy that he was like, oh, they're not gonna believe me. Well, here's this bad thing you did, and here's this bad thing you did, and he's literally just like letting them all go, and I was like, yes.
Right. Yeah, that was good.
I enjoyed that.
Also, I really liked the magic that they had, like the swords and
blades.
stuff.
Yeah. It was so fun because it's so different from their other books, which I think makes it more enjoyable.
I also like that it's like
a pace.
The top 3 houses, 2 of them are the same. Like they broke from like the same type of magic. The third one is just like fast and really good at swords. So it's not like all three have the same magic and that's why they're all on top. It's like, no, these guys over here, different, but still amazing.
Yeah, also it was impressive how the two of them had to battle him in the office, and then the two of them took on this elite killing unit.
Yeah.
Just the two of them. And it was like an equal fight between him and all these professionals.
Yeah. There's a line at the beginning, and it took me to, I was just like, Matthias said, I don't start fights, I finish them. And my brain went, oh, he's a lady, because Aristocats, ladies don't start fights, but they can finish them. And I'm like, oh, he's a lady. He's a proper lady.
Nice.
That's right.
And it just made me giggle because that's instantly what went into my brain. Is I'm like, oh, he's a proper lady, Matthias.
It's nice when you get references like that. That just reminds me, I haven't watched The Aristocrats in ages.
It's so good. I love The Aristocats. I also haven't.
The best.
It's so good. Everybody wants to be a cat.
Yeah.
That's right.
All I can think about is how amazing the Davenports are. So, like, that's what stuck with me is the Davenports. When, like, the epilogue where he's like, dearly beloved, we have gathered here.
Speaking of the epilogue,
I
loved the epilogue. I loved the way that they handled their families and secured their future. And we're like, we're going to fix this.
Yes, I loved it.
Yep.
It was like a good way to, like, meld the families, too.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, he's 51% shareholder. So he controls both? Well, you see, she's 51% shareholder.
And then they just walked out or like, they will figure it out together.
Yep.
Yeah,
I did like that.
Glorious. I loved everything about that.
I also loved that Matthias hacked his in-laws with a toaster.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that was amazing. I loved that.
Yeah, that was funny.
Just trying to have a look and see if there's something else that I'd marked in the book.
Also, the fact that her husband was able to get all of the data because he is seen as so non-threatening.
He just walked in.
Like, they're like, oh, he's an idiot. He is no threat at all. We can let him go into like any place he wants to. What harm can he do? And then it's like he just went and stole all your stuff.
And he was actually that dumb though. Because, you know, I like when we have a character who is using, you know, don't take me seriously as a shield. But he genuinely, that just was his whole persona.
That's how I live my life. Just don't take me seriously.
Right. I like when they're faking it. He was not faking it.
He was not faking it. I do love that when they first met, Matthias and what's her name? Not Reagan. Starts with an R though. Ramona. Oh, I should have known that because Scott Pilgrim. Ramona. Anyways, how she was just like in his office, and then she's like, I have something to show you, and it's just their partners, and she's like, all right, so here's the bad part. And then he must have thought of the plan. Nah, he's an idiot. He did not think of this plan.
Right. Yeah, I know.
She's like, no, I know my husband. He wouldn't think of this. And it's like, oh, it's so nice that you're so faithful and like loyal to your husband. She's like, no, you misunderstand. He's too dumb.
Right.
It's not that he's loyal. He's just dumb.
Easily led. Oh gosh.
I just love that. He wouldn't do this. He's not capable. Oh, that's like this is not the time to stand up for your husband. No. He's too stupid. He needed a brain to do this.
Ooh, I just thought of something else. So I really liked the final battle, right? But I was surprised when it was two magic users of their same type. I don't remember what I call them. That were in the...
Was it Varden and Lucas?
Yeah. the brothers, the like twins, and that they were a bonded pair.
Yeah, that's cool.
Because I was not expecting that at all.
But they're so evil.
I also liked them like unable to wait to tear each other's clothes off in the spaceship transporter thing.
Yeah. I just like them. They were good characters.
That's it. I liked
it was just fun.
I liked the characters.
I liked all three powerful
dynamics
people
between the two of them.
What stuff?
I like when you've got the equal power dynamics between them.
Very much so. That's like my favorite thing. If you can convince me that both of these people are amazing and work well together and deserve each other, that's my happiest reading experience.
Yes.
Especially if you can sell me either on an enemies to lovers or a rivals to lovers. And
yeah, I mean, they really managed to sell me on the trope. I feel like I'm least often am sold on. I often leave feeling like it's just dislike, but like this made sense. It worked. Why they like had that deep seated like long running rivalry.
Yeah.
Very Romeo and Juliet, I guess. In a way.
Also, I find it very interesting that the two of them had made such public displays of brutalizing their assassination attempts, and their spouses were shocked at how deadly they were.
But their spouses were dumb. Like,
do you guys not watch TV? It was on the TV. Everybody knows.
Not the cleverest tools in the shed, those two.
Oh my word.
I mean, perfectly suited for each other.
Right. I was like, you all deserve each other in the most horrible way.
They are both so dumb.
And just not even dumb, but just like ungrateful.
Oh, the fact that they didn't get the money before giving the information, like,
and thought that they would survive the encounter.
But like that is, you know, it's like when somebody that you are worried about is like, I'm selling this thing on Marketplace, and you're like, okay, how is that working? Like, where are you meeting? They're just gonna come to my house and this, that, and you're just like, okay,
right.
I fear
who
for
else
you.
is going to be around with you?
Like, well, and I think it just shows that not anybody can just do this and be good at it. Like, you need to know what you're doing, and they very much did not. They only got to where they were by being married to people with access and betraying the trust of their husband and wife. They were never going to get there on their own.
And I think it's really interesting because, you know, they could argue, oh, they didn't love me. Well, those two were never going to marry for love. They were always marrying for power and status.
Right.
Sorry, the partners. So you're not going to get that anyway, but you have someone who is going to give you everything you want. Right. And you are not willing to take that.
For an arranged marriage, a business partnership. Yeah. Like they had a very good deal.
Yeah.
Also, Matthias gave her the choice. Like, he was like, hey, like, we're doing this proposal. I'm not forcing you. Here's how it's literally going to be. And he did not lie.
No.
But she was very much the type of person that's like, well, I will just change them to be what I want. And you cannot ever go into a relationship where you don't like the person as they are now, but you have plans for future them to be different.
You can't fix people to be the way you want them to be, Heather. What?
Are you a real romance writer?
All this like Pavlov training I've been doing with you is not working, apparently.
It's so annoying to me, I guess.
No, I'm with you.
I know
every
you
time
are.
It's like, why are you doing this?
It's just,
this isn't how anything ever works.
Right. It's not even that I'm like, well, that's not going to work. I'm annoyed that you would do that to your partner. Like, why choose a partner, regardless of who they are or how they are. Why choose a partner that you don't even like? I don't get it.
Not the smartest people ever.
Definitely not. Also, they married off, I think his name was Gabriel, the dumb boy. They married him off because he was too much trouble to keep.
He was so much trouble for his family. And then they like made like big penalties if she divorced him and stuff because they didn't want him coming back. And she was like,
but not nearly as big penalties if she just murdered him.
I will pay. We are done here.
I love that his family was like, yeah, we don't want to deal with him either, so that's fine.
We're gonna make him impossible to return.
Look, as my dad told Grumps, no deposit, no return. So she didn't pay the deposit. She can't return it.
Oh, man.
I also have to say, this is one of my favorite of their covers.
Yes, for sure.
Yes.
It's a good
And
cover.
I wish we had more covers like this.
Especially because it works so perfectly well with the scene that actually happens in the book. I love when covers do that.
Yeah.
Same.
If you've got the nice material to draw on, use it.
Like, it's a beautiful cover. It communicates the genre. And also, if you've actually read the book, it's more meaningful because you know exactly what scene you're looking at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfection.
I know.
Agreed.
I don't feel like we have a whole lot more to say. We just liked it.
This novel novella was so engaging.
Right.
I don't feel like there's a ton. I don't know. I listened to half of it sitting in a waiting room and then was like, I'm going to forget all of this book if I continue consuming it in this space.
I listened to all of it today. So
it was just really enjoyable.
I think it's very compelling. Like, it's easily one of their books that you can sort of just sit down and read in one sitting without needing to stop.
Yes.
Stop reading it. So kudos to them because I like
a true novella.
Yeah, me too.
I would be curious if they ever expand this world again.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I doubt. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they will, but I doubt it.
I mean, I think
I'm curious if it ever links.
Future, we're doing Kate Daniels spinoff and Innkeepers. That's my guesses.
Yeah.
I feel like whenever they just feel the urge, they'll just pop out another story in the Kinsman universe.
Yeah.
I can see that.
I can see it not being planned super far in advance.
Well, because like all of them are essentially just standalones in this universe.
They are, yeah.
I was gonna say I think it would be nice. I think they found their groove with Faded Blades, with what they were trying to do with that world. But if I didn't get one, I would be totally happy with that book because I think it's so rare to find a sci-fi romance that stands on its own that just feels complete, and you get to the end and you're satisfied with it. So,
yeah. Is it on Kindle Unlimited in Australia?
I can't remember. Let me have a look.
Because I know it's read and listen on KU in the US, which again makes it a good option for people to try.
Yeah, it's on KU here.
I would say it's Amazon's publisher. It's Montlake, so it should be all over on KU. I feel like they do that with most of their books.
Yeah, that makes sense. But
also, you know,
sometimes it doesn't make sense.
It's like some people
having it does not make sense. So
no, it is, and that's good.
Yeah,
but I must have read it on KU the first time. I don't think I actually own it digitally, but then I bought it because I'm like, I like this and I like the cover. It's pretty.
Yeah,
and it's Ilona Andrews, so you must own
Ilona Andrews.
Well, now that I have done my reread, next weekend I might be filming my Ilona Andrews video. Maybe, if I can get myself organized. Because I have been thinking about which order I would recommend things in.
Right.
So, and I also got tagged this morning by a friend. I think I tagged Heather and Megan in it afterwards because it's about, welcome to my reading cult. And my friend's gone, this is us with Magic Bites and Ilona Andrews. I'm like, yes, it is.
Yeah.
Was that on Instagram?
Yeah.
One
of my friends. I've got two of my friends here are massive Ilona Andrews fans, and so anytime one of us starts reading it, we each other.
Kind of people.
You have to read the note at the top. It's like anytime anyone starts reading Magic Bites.
I don't see it in my notifications.
No. Oh, maybe I didn't tag it properly. I'll send it to you later.
It's on your stories, though.
Is it?
Yeah, it's in stories. I'll tag you in it later.
Maybe
I found very interesting things on Instagram this morning, including Ted Lasso cookies. So
I got a Ted Lasso tag this earlier.
Yeah, so. It's been a good morning for random things on Instagram.
So what are we gonna do now that we're done?
Wait for a release.
Yeah.
We'll be reading Rock Chicks. Is what we'll be doing.
We will be reading Rock Chicks.
I wouldn't be surprised if we get another Kate Daniels.
Who knows? Maybe I'll be caught up at some point for the next Kate Daniels one.
The next one?
No, maybe this next one after that.
If you're going to be caught up, I hope you're planning on reading immediately, because I'm hoping for a release sooner rather than later.
I'm feeling a summer release.
Well,
see, I got really excited because Sweep of the Hearts graphic audio came out. So I now have that. So I haven't. That's the other one I haven't multiple times.
Chronicles graphic novel is
pre-ordered that
on March.
I need to order that as well.
12th, something like that.
Yeah. I do want that graphic novel.
That doesn't count with my book buying fund. That's an automatic addition to the collection. Support Ilona Andrews. Let's pre-order everything.
Right.
Listen, I stared at The Last Innkeepers and was like, do I want to re-listen to this now that it's in graphic audio?
Yeah.
I mean, it would just be, it would, oh, hey, new year. I can just listen to all of them again.
Right,
exactly. It's the only one that I haven't reread, so yes. But that probably won't happen.
Well, I'm going to start the graphic audios here. Too much commitment reading right now. But also, I have to finish Psy Changeling Trinity because I meet Nilani in August at Steamy Lit.
Which one are you up to? Oh, no, you haven't started.
I haven't started Trinity yet. I haven't started it.
Are you in the normal Psy Changeling, or have you just not done any of it?
No,
I finished normal Psy Changeling.
Oh, okay.
2 years ago now?
Yeah. Poke me if you want buddy readers for any of this Trinity books.
Yeah.
I'm going through all of the Psy Changelings, but based on how she wants, how the chronological reading order is on her website. So I'm literally like, okay, and then this short story from Wild Invitation, and this short story, and then
even I haven't done that, Megan.
I was just like, if I'm gonna reread it, I'm gonna do it the way that
I have to have something to hold me off because we don't have a new Cressley until March. I think I get a new Cressley Cole. So I either, as soon as I finish Cressley, we'll probably dive into Trinity and marathon the 5, 6. I'm behind. I don't know.
I think I'm too behind on the Trinity. So that's also why I'm just like, I'll just reread the Lady Sing.
I'd reread Trinity, but I probably won't reread the entire series for this year.
I would not reread the whole regular series this year.
No, I'm not
far enough removed.
This is my reread year. I'm going to reread so many books this year.
It's Megan's year of rereading, and we are here to support you in it.
I have reread so many books already.
Yay! I've reread a lot this year already as well. It's mostly kids' books.
We're reading quite a few books together also.
Yes.
I would say we're rereading an entire series, so that's my reread of the year.
All the Rock Chicks. Because the people who have never read it before couldn't show up to the first one.
Yeah, I was there.
You were there. You were one of the people who've not read it before.
I've not read any of them, so I was represented
from here. I hope.
Sorry.
So it's only up from here. I hope.
I do think they get better as we go, if I recall correctly.
I do too, except those content warnings and 2 or 3 back to back.
Yeah.
So It's like they're better written, but also you've got
I think as long as we know going into it, it's fine. It's not like they're not in other books as well, and usually not always handled with the same amount of care. Alrighty, since we have finished talking about Fatal Blades, we might wrap this up because we've all got another
we have sprints later starting soon.
Come sprint on my channel in like
to do.
20 35 minutes. I can do math. 9:15.
Oh. Why does it start at 9:15?
They're starting
because
at 9:15.
This technically would have ran until 8 normally. Or 9 Eastern. Okay. So I needed like 10 minutes.
You're smart. You're smart. Transition. I give you credit.
Okay, I was like, because if this ran the full hour, I needed like 10 minutes not on camera.
Right. Makes sense.
So if you want more book club, join us for Rock Chicks. We're only on book 2 this month. If you just want more of us this weekend, we are running sprints with people all weekend.
I'm happy.
Heather comes prepared with actual questions.
You're welcome, Heather, because I sent Heather a ton of questions.
Right.
Yes, and the next challenge was Remy. We like Remy. Alrighty.
Is he a rat?
Yeah, Remy the rat from Ratatouille. Secretly a changeling.
No. I mean, I'd believe it.
It's true.
Professional chef, rat, changeling.
Yeah.
Tracks.
On that note, thank you for everyone who's joined us with our Ilona Andrews read-alongs. And we'll be back whenever there's another Kate Daniels book.
It's not the end.
It's not the end, it's just the end.
It's just goodbye for now.
Just goodbye. All right.
We'll be back.
See you later. Bye.
Bye.